Nervous, boy? You have done this before?
Nervous about what?
You have done this before? That's why I got you a drink. Loosen up a little bit.
Come on, I taught Pogba how to do this. I taught him how to go on TV, how to carry himself in front of a camera.
Okay, you're going to start, right? It's okay?
You're good.
Right.
Whenever you're ready.
Hello guys, what's up? Bota Ponta podcast. You are here today. I'm Coach Lyu with my brother Wilson Egidio. You have some people here,
special guests.
Guys here, you know, Wilson?
Special guest.
Special guest.
A friend.
Yes. Hello everyone. Wilson Egidio from Times Square, Bota Ponta. Today I have the pleasure to introduce my boy, my son. I don't know how I ended up with some African sons, kids, but I never went to Africa, but I have a bunch of African kids, right? Very proud. Uzii, a soccer man and a friend, and he's going to share a little bit of his soccer experience, life experience with us.
Nós estamos aqui hoje com o nosso grande amigo Uzii. Então eu, Coach Lyu, Wilson Egidio, Bota Ponta podcast. O Wilson falou para vocês aqui que ele tem o Uzii é como um filho para ele, apesar dele nunca ter estado na África. Ele tem um filho na África que é o Uzii, então.
Vários.
Aí ele está falando isso, introduzindo, vai começar a perguntar agora as perguntas, nós vamos traduzindo simultâneo para vocês.
Okay, so Uzii, thank you for coming. So tell me, how was your beginning? So you're from Senegal, or born in Senegal. How old you came to the US, and how was your first years in Africa playing soccer, and then you're coming to New York, and tell us a little bit about that.
I mean, it's like a dream, but at the same time, luck, because, as you may already know, in Africa, they possess a lot of talent when it comes to the sport of football. And very few get to make it out, let alone, make it to the top. And I was part of the lucky ones who got out, came to New York and kept playing. I think I was 11 when I showed up to your trial. There was like 30 minutes left because, I didn't know how to get to Randall's Island. Took about 3 trains and a bus, the M35. And when I got there, there was 30 minutes left. And I remember you yelling at me when I showed up, like, hey, it's me, Usman. You're like, just get inside, go join that team. And within 20 minutes, you called me back and you were like, just asking me questions. And I remember the same night you dropped me off home when you found out I was living in Brooklyn. And I didn't want to be in your car because I get car sick. But you spoke to my parents. They didn't want to let me play, but you told them how talented I was, and they trusted you off the bat. And from there on, it was just championships on top of championships, and college offers on top of college offers, and going to college and breaking records on top of records. And it's just a door that's been opened, and not just for me, but my family as well. Because today I got to, be something out of college and got something out of the game I love so much. So it's just all a blessing. And I'm still here, I still play, I work, I do many, many things, all because of soccer.
Ok, o Wilson perguntou para o Uzii como é que a vida dele foi no Senegal, como que ele foi chegar aqui nos Estados Unidos, como foi ele começar a jogar futebol, como foi esse começo no Senegal, como foi esse começo em Nova York. E o Uzii falou o que é isso aí?
Não, ele explicou, que muitos jogadores, tem muito talento na África, mas nem todo mundo consegue, sobressair no futebol e ter uma carreira no futebol. Ele foi um dos que teve sorte de vir para Nova York e contou um pouquinho daquele princípio, Ele chegou no teste, na peneira do meu time naquele ano e chegou já porque ele teve problema de condução e tal, chegou com 30 minutos para acabar e eu coloquei imediatamente no treino e daí 20 minutos eu o chamei e falei com ele, que eu gostei e tal, e já entrei em contato com os pais dele e assinamos, e ele fez parte do nosso grupo e, como ele falou, ganhou vários troféus e campeonatos. E ele falou que não só o futebol e essa oportunidade não só mudou a vida dele, mas também da família dele, E através disso ele foi para a escola. A gente vai falar um pouquinho mais da vida dele na universidade. E hoje ele continua jogando e trabalhando e muito grato pela oportunidade.
Okay.
So, a little bit more about your beginning in Senegal, where, you know, I assume that from here, I've never been to Africa, but it's pretty much like Brazil, playing on the streets. And tell me a little bit about your relationship with, with Paul Pogba, which we had a chance to spend some time with, and is a very close friend of yours. And so how was that beginning there, and how that translates to where you are today with him?
Oi. O Wilson perguntou para ele como é que foi o começo dele no Senegal, para ele detalhar um pouco mais, que o Wilson falou que ele nunca teve a oportunidade ainda de ir à África, e perguntou para ele qual que é o relacionamento que ele tem com o Pogba. Ele tem um relacionamento com o Pogba, ele vai explicar aqui agora qual que é, e ele vai detalhar também como é que é essa amizade, como é que tudo começou e o futebol dele na África.
I mean, like, it's more like Brazil, you know, there's no big difference. You know, everybody grew up playing in the streets. And the amazing part is that, you know, unlike the more developed countries where they have academies and you have kids going to Manchester United or Liverpool at the age of 7, 8, and they get to be taught everything they know how to do with a ball, not because they were playing on the streets. Versus us growing up playing in the streets, we didn't have anybody coaching us. We didn't have videos, you know, film sessions. We didn't have access to cable where we get to watch games day in, day out. So to this day, I still don't know how I was able to do certain things with a ball that I've never seen before. And you can say the same thing with a lot of Brazilian kids. They don't have TVs. They don't know what certain players played like, but for some reason, you know, the body just accepted I was born to do this and I'm going to find a way to get it done. And it's the same with a lot of African players. I mean, we all grew up outside the academies. We never, you know, and just having fun in the streets.
And having fun.
Yeah, and that's where the toughness comes from, because I remember never playing with kids my age.
Exactly.
I always played with the older kids.
Same with me.
Where every time you dribble past them, you get whacked, you know. So now you know next time not to do that to the big guys.
You learn to adjust.
Yeah.
And so tell me a little bit about your relationship with Paul Pogba. But translating a little bit what you said. You know, just like ele falou que é mais ou menos como o Brasil, né, jogando na rua e sem televisão, sem vídeo, como a gente tem hoje, sem academias. E ele aprendeu e se ajustando, né? Porque ele falou como no Brasil ele era sempre jogando com jogadores mais idosos. E, né, o sarrafo come, e ele teve que se adaptar e aprender a jogar, e por isso ele se tornou o jogador que ele foi hoje. Até hoje ele não tem explicação, né, como muitos de nós não temos explicações, mas é mais ou menos parecido com o princípio do Brasil. Now tell me a little bit about your relationship with Pogba, the beginning and you know, where you guys are today. How did that progress? How did it happen?
Agora o Wilson perguntou para ele, que ele vai detalhar o relacionamento que ele tem com o Pogba, e ele vai explicar agora.
So I know you've known me for a long time, but I don't think you ever bothered to check my passport. I'm not actually born in Senegal. Mm-hmm. I was born in France, but I was sent back to Senegal.
Oh, I see.
Just like, you know, many African parents do, because they don't trust outside of Africa countries. Mm. So it's just like, to better raise us, they think sending us back would be better when it comes to the religion and the culture. And Pogba is basically family. You know, everybody in Paris, you know, growing up, a lot of people would strive to go to the academies and stuff. And I knew him through one of the guys that I call Big Bro, you know, Mahmoud. He's like close friends with my mom. And that's how we all met and just became a family after that. And up until he was like 15, going to Man U for a trial. And I remember him just like always crying because he wanted to come home, because, you know, going to a whole different country with different language. You don't know anybody there. It's just like...
So he was like you, he was born in Paris and then went to Senegal?
No, he never went back, but he...
He stayed in Paris?
Yeah, until he was like 15.
Okay.
Then I moved to England.
Ok. A tradução é essa nesse relacionamento com o Paul Pogba, né? Que todos nós conhecemos, do Manchester United, hoje no Juventus, seleção francesa. Ele pessoalmente, o Uzii nasceu na França, em Paris, e os pais o levaram para Senegal para serem criados no sistema africano. Mas o Paul, eles se conheceram em Paris e ele cresceu junto com ele, e ele se lembra muito bem de quando o Paul Pogba foi para o United, Manchester United, ele chorava sempre porque queria voltar para casa e tal, mas com a idade de 15 anos. Mas interessante esse relacionamento. E hoje vocês, and today you are very close and you still in contact?
Yeah.
O Wilson agora perguntou para ele se hoje o Pogba e ele tem contato ainda, se eles ainda são amigos.
Yeah, I mean, we have always kept in touch. The thing is, he used to come to New York, like, way before he, was who he is. I don't know if you've seen the pictures of me and him when he was like, I think 19. I remember also seeing his game against New York Cosmos up at Old Trafford. I think it was like a friendly game, and I remember him coming in as a sub, and one of your guys, Ibrahim Diaby, played in that game, and I remember him coming back to New York while I was working at Upper 90, and he was just telling me like how talented Pogba was. And this whole time he had no clue that I knew who the guy was, and he's just like, man, this guy gonna be big one day. Like, he's so talented, I love him. I was just like, he's a very close friend of mine.
Mas a história do Paul Pogba, como o Uzii está dizendo aqui, eu já conheço um pouquinho, né? Ele vinha frequentemente para Nova York, com a idade de 18, 19 anos, e não era tão famoso. E ele andava com o Uzii, ia jogar no parque, no Chinatown. E ele lembra, por exemplo, um jogo do United contra o Cosmos, que um dos nossos jogadores, Ibrahim, participou do jogo. E quando ele voltou, ele falando, nossa, aqui tem um garoto lá muito talentoso, eu não sabia que o Uzii era chegado do Paul Pogba. Mas então essa é a história do Uzii com o Pogba. Eu tive o prazer de conhecê-lo, né? Eu torço por ele, eu acho uma pessoa, foi muito agradável com a gente. A gente teve a oportunidade de ver o Arsenal contra o Manchester United em 2000 antes da pandemia, né? 2018. 2019. And so it was a great experience. So now, Uzii, moving forward, so you come to my team, PSG, right? Sponsored by PSG in Paris. And so you meet a bunch of different guys, guys like yourself that come from different countries, some American guys from Manhattan, New York City. And how was that experience for you, because I remember you being very likable and, everybody liked you, loved you. And, to me from the outside, actually from the inside, you felt very comfortable. And so tell me a little bit about that experience.
O Wilson agora está perguntando ele como é que ele se sentiu na experiência que o Uzii teve no time do Wilson. O Wilson teve representação do Paris Saint-Germain em Manhattan durante um longo período, ele era inclusive também treinador da equipe, e agora o Wilson está perguntando isso para ele, como é que foi. O Pogba se sentiu muito confortável, o Wilson sentiu isso, o Uzii também sentiu isso, muito confortável com a equipe, e nessa equipe também jogou outros jogadores. Hoje tem o Jack Harris, que é profissional, também fez parte com ele aqui da equipe, e o Wilson perguntando para ele como é que foi essa experiência. Essa recepção de todos os meninos, que é o time do Paris Saint-Germain, era de Manhattan, uma região muito rica, tá? Os meninos são muito ricos, que fazem parte do grupo, e o Wilson perguntou para ele vai falar agora com vocês.
It was a very, very different experience. I've never been on a team of white boys.
Okay.
And, part of me did feel comfortable when I saw other African kids from different African countries. And, the white kids were very likable, and I got to learn a lot from them. And it was just more than a team. Like, it was a family. It's like, no one gave me the look of, I was already on this team. Who are you? You're new here. Like, just like when somebody's new at a school, it's like the same thing, but they never made me feel that way. So it was always like a comfortable environment, somewhere I always was eager to go to. And I'm in school, I'm thinking about practice already. You know, I get out of school, I'm rushing to get on the train just so I can get to practice. Because over there, you forget everything. Everything else is just fun and working on your craft. And I believe that's like one team where practice, yeah, it was practice, but at the same time, it was like, hey, I'm allowing you guys to develop and work on whatever you're already good at. Instead of, I want you guys to play this way, do this, do that. You always give us the freedom to do whatever. So I think it translated to every player, to just treat everyone with respect and be like, hey, I respect who you are. Do you, I'm here to support you. And to this day, it's still a family because we still keep in touch, we still hang out, we still talk about the memories, and it's just like, man, I wish I could go back.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Thank you. I feel honored to hear that, and it's my style of coaching, and I'm happy that that worked for you. Mas um pouquinho, ele falou um pouquinho dessa experiência dele aqui, né, com os americanos, que ele fala dos meninos brancos aqui de Nova York, de famílias de um poder aquisitivo muito alto, e ele sempre se sentiu à vontade, né, e nunca ninguém olhou para ele como diferente, e ele sempre viu treino, né, os treinos que eu dava como uma sessão divertida, e eu sempre dando liberdade para eles criarem e serem eles mesmos e desenvolverem o jogo deles, cada um, né, individualmente e como grupo, e eventualmente nos tornamos 3 vezes campeões do estado, 2 vezes campeão regional e 1 vez campeão nacional, 214. E a gente teve a oportunidade de ter no clube hoje o Jack Harrison, que está no Leeds United, na Premier League, já tem 5 anos como titular. Então.
E ele falou também que foi a primeira vez que ele jogou no time branco.
Exato.
Meninos brancos, então você vê a situação um pouco mais complicada. Então, ele conseguiu superar isso.
But very quickly, so tell me about Jack Harrison. Like I said, he is in England for many years now, playing professionally in one of the top leagues in the world. And so tell me, how was it, playing with him, seeing him, and see where he is right now? How was that? Seeing him for the first time and developing and playing for us, and how was he and where he is right now? So what are your feelings about that?
O Wilson está perguntando para ele agora sobre o Jack Harrison, que ele jogou com o Jack Harrison no início, no desenvolvimento dele, até ele virar profissional, então ele conhece bem. E o Wilson está perguntando para ele como é que o que ele acha, o que ele viu nisso, e ele vai responder agora para vocês.
Who's that?
Trying to be funny, right? Yeah, very funny. Ele perguntou, quem que é esse?
Ele perguntou assim, quem que é esse Harrison? Nunca ouvi falar. Quem é esse fera? Isso jogou aonde?
Chupou a mão com quem?
I hope he sees this.
He sees it.
You see, of course.
He's gonna be like, what do you mean, who's that? I mean, Jack is damn, Jack was a different breed. It's like, I've seen good players. I've seen great players. I mean, I've played with great players, He reminds me so much of Felipe Veloso, the guy I played with when I was playing in Japan at FC Tokyo. Mm-hmm. But Jack's first day, he showed up and, we were scrimmaging and you threw him in there, like right after we warmed up and stretched, whatever. And, we were having a practice scrimmage, whatever, and you threw him in there. But we didn't know there were a guy coming to practice because you were so open like that, like you never closed your doors. It's like, yes, I have great players already, but I'm always looking for more because, people get hurt. Uzii gets a red card. Like, we need players. And players always have come in and practice with us.
Open doors, yeah.
Open doors, I like this kid. Come back to practice. He's not consistent. I don't think he would be a good fit for us. Sometimes you give him a chance, a year to play with us. The following year, it's just like, I'm sorry, but you have to go. But with Jack, it was just all of us, like, who is this kid? And I remember some of us asked you, who is this kid? You're like, you see. And literally, I'm on the left wing just seeing a guy pinging balls like over everyone to your feet. And it's just the most insane thing I've ever seen. And he runs with a purpose.
Yeah, he's direct.
As we get the ball, we dribble 1, 2, we're looking for... Before he even gets the ball, he knows where he's going and what he wants to do with it. So the moment he gets it, there's no stopping him from getting to that destination, and he gets there. And his left foot was just unbelievable. And he was the type of player that made us all better.
Of course.
Like, we started playing like him. We became so aggressive, and we were never like that. We were like the pretty team. You know, like, we can ball, but we also like, not divas, but just elegant with it. But Jack was just, I don't know, what is this? I came from Liverpool and United. That's how we play. And it worked out for everyone, you know, and we all loved him. We were all so happy to have him. And the best story about Jack is the day he was sick.
I see.
At the tournament. I would, like, you tell the story to anybody, they would tell you this is not true.
Right.
But we all witnessed Jack sick and couldn't play. And we're winning, and there was a game that, you know, it was tough. Legs were tired. We needed a win, and we just struggling.
And he was in a van.
And he was in a van, a mini ambulance, you would call, and he's sick, dying in there. And the next thing we know, Jack comes out. He puts him on the field. I think he scored what, 2 goals?
He scored a goal, and then he went back to the van.
He scored a goal, put us up, and went back in the van. And we're just like, what the is this guy on? Like, what? And, you know, it was just like...
And the amazing thing is I still remember that day and that game and that goal where he got the ball on the right side and he drove it straight to goal. He made defenders look like cones, standing.
Yeah.
And boom, he scored. I went to the van and said, Jack, you know, things are going a little, I need you here for a couple minutes. And he said, yeah, all right. So he came in, scored a goal, went back to the van. He was sick that day. You know?
Yeah, and we're just like, this is crazy.
Right.
And, you know, it was the best thing we've seen. And after that, things just got better and better.
So many goals, so many assists,
He's assisted me on so many goals that most of the time, I don't think the ball will come. Yeah. Or like I should be there, but it was just like with this guy, you never know what to expect, so you just go for it and hope he finds you, and he does every time.
Well, the big one was at the semifinals where he assisted you on a winning goal, and then you celebrated and got a red card. We got to talk about that a little bit, but that was a great assist. That's a typical Jack where he hustled to get the ball and he passed it over.
Oh yeah, we all gave up on that ball because the way I remember Amara cleared it out of the free kick. And that ball is heading out. And we all just stopped. We're like, it's a throw in. And the next thing we know is like you see a baby gazelle just chasing someone and went around him, kept the ball in. And I don't know if you saw the video. At first I was walking, but then when I saw him get the ball, I was just like, just be there, just be there, just be there. So I just took off. And he didn't even look up. It's like he knew somebody is there.
It's a complete player. You know, that's where he is, where he is today. And with the vision of the game, he was able to find you. A tradução é o seguinte, né? A gente perguntou sobre a experiência dele com o Jack Harrison, como eu falei, tá jogando na Inglaterra hoje, na Premier League. E ele falou que do primeiro dia, né? Eu sempre tive essa política de portas abertas, principalmente em Nova York, que tem, né, o pessoal de toda parte do mundo. Então eu nunca deixei de ver um garoto treinar e às vezes ficava com um garoto 1 mês, 2 meses, 6 meses, né? Mas o Jax foi um desse que chegou e já todo mundo já percebeu, né, a presença dele, porque ele era diferenciado realmente, né? Um garoto veloz, rápido, com uma letal perna esquerda e com a direita. E como se diz, né, os dois lados da bola, defensivamente e ofensivamente. E o Uzii foi um dos beneficiários dele, porque ele sempre, né, com muita visão de jogo, sempre colocava o Uzii em boas condições. Inclusive o Uzii contou o caso de um gol na semifinal do Campeonato Nacional, um jogo muito duro, em que o Uzii fez um gol num passe do Jack Harrison. Mas então ele
também falou, né, que o Jack jogou doente.
Ele
falou que o cara jogou doente com tênis.
Essa passagem foi interessante porque a gente estava num torneio e eu me lembro como se fosse hoje. O Jackson, de um dia para o outro, ele ficou doente, ele fica, né, problema de intestino e não podia jogar. Aí ele ficou o campo assim, né, e ele num estacionamento dentro de uma van de um dos parentes, né, dos pais, e passando mal, completamente fora do jogo. E a gente estava num jogo duro, em que a gente, não sei se lembra, se tinha que fazer um gol para ir para a próxima rodada, fase, ou estava perdendo de 1-0. Só sei que no segundo tempo eu fui lá na van e falei, Jack, tem essa situação assim e tal, dá para você fazer um esforço? Ele falou assim, tá, vou lá tentar. Pô, primeira bola que ele pega na ponta direita, ele vira um canhoto, ele foi em direção ao gol e acabou na cara do gol, fez o gol, comemorou, voltou para a van e continuou lá no carro. Quer dizer, foi um fato assim histórico. E como o Uzii falou, né, é um cara que sempre contribuiu, né, com assistência, com gols, coisas incríveis, um diferenciado. E super gente boa, que influenciou todo o time nesse aspecto, né, de trabalhar sério, um cara que vem da academia, né, do Manchester United, foi sempre um profissional. Eu sempre digo, né, eu treinei dos 15 aos 18 anos, e eu sempre digo que o Jack foi um profissional at age 15. Com a idade de 15.
E o Uzii, inclusive, né, falou que quando ele chegou pro Wilson, ele já estava no nível dos meninos da Inglaterra, né? Que depois tinha conhecimento, já era o nível alto dos meninos que faziam base nos países britânicos.
Uhum.
Aí o Wilson agora...
Então, Uzii, in your experience in being the national champion, what had that done to you?
O Uzii falou aqui do Felipe, how the name the
Felipe Veloso.
O Uzii falou aqui que ele jogou com um brasileiro no Japão que chama Felipe Veloso. Ele falou que é um bom jogador, he's nice player.
Very good player.
O Uzii jogou lá.
Better than Wilson.
Ele falou, ele tá gostando do Wilson, ele falou que ele é melhor do que o Wilson, o Felipe Veloso.
Deve ser bom mesmo.
Eu vou perguntar pra ele aqui, sabe como é que foi a passagem dele no Japão rápido aqui? Como é que foi a passagem no Japão e como é que é o Japão? How is play, in Japan? How is that? I haven't ever been there before. Can you explain for us?
In Asia in general, right? You've been around.
Yeah.
Can you translate this for me?
Yeah.
Why are there so many Brazilians in Japan?
Eu tô perguntando aí pra galera, né, Wilson? Fala aí.
Por que tem tanto japonês brasileiro no Japão?
Can I say some things for you, alright? You know, the largest Japanese community outside Japan is in Brazil. It's not in the United States. It's in Brazil.
The largest,
Maybe because it...
You know that?
Yeah, I don't know this.
Yeah.
Aí falei pra ele aqui que a maior comunidade japonesa de todos os países juntos não está nos Estados Unidos, está no Brasil. É os nipônicos, o pessoal que está em São Paulo, no Rio Grande do Sul. Então, ele não sabia disso, que ele achava que era aqui nos Estados Unidos. E não é. É no Brasil, a maior comunidade.
Mas então... So, the answer, você sabe a resposta? Por que tem tanto japonês lá? Ou contratos, money, opportunity to play?
Money, I know, money.
So, how is your experience in Asia? How many places you went and how?
I started with the Cambodia Tigers in Cambodia. It's the Cambodian League. They also have few Brazilians there, but my team didn't have any. We had a lot of African guys. It was a good team, but the pay is not like that. Plus I was young at the time. I think I started when I was like 20, right before finishing college. And Asia is a good place to play if you don't care about the money to that extent. They'll house you, and $2,000 a month goes a long way. But if you that kind of a player who has a little resume from playing at Palmeiras youth team, and then you go to Asia, you will make the big bucks. And that was the case with Felipe. He was at Corinthians, I think Corinthians, and then went to Tokyo for a trial. He got signed with the reserve team, and he was clearly the best player, and at the time he was 18, 19.
Where is he now?
Now he's in, I think, Russia.
Okay. Explicando, né, que, por exemplo, a Ásia, ele teve no... What country again?
Cambodia.
Camboja. E não é um lugar, né, para ser, não é a meca do futebol, mas para uma pessoa que eles têm um alojamento, têm um salário de uns $2.000, $3.000, né, e vários jogadores vão para a Ásia e de lá fazem um trampolim para outros países. Mas, quer dizer, no caso do Felipe, que ele está falando, Veloso, jogou na Corinthians, passou pela Ásia e hoje está na Rússia. Quer dizer, alright, so that was your this passage through...
yeah, and then from Cambodia, I ended up in Japan. And, that was like my best time there was being in Japan, in Tokyo. Beautiful country, beautiful city, nice people, everything clean, people help you with anything. And I think Japan for me has the best soccer in Asia. They have a lot of Brazilians and they play with flair, like they also play rough and it's really good.
Okay.
It's
good level.
Yeah, it's in the Japanese culture to always fight. So, they have that in them. Yeah. What's the name was also on our team, Kubo, that signed with Real Madrid. And he was a Barca player. They call him the Japanese Messi. He came to Tokyo, back to Tokyo when Barcelona got banned from signing youth players. And Barca forgot that his contract expires in January, not in the summer. And next thing you know, Real Madrid scooped him up. But he was playing with FC Tokyo at 15 on the first team. And he was the best player on the field, every game.
E a passagem dele pelo Japão, né? Ele achou o Japão o melhor futebol na Ásia, muito organizado, com vários brasileiros e na parte da cultura do Japão, né? De sempre brigar muito e lutar, muita garra. E ele gostou muito da experiência dele lá e citou como exemplo um jogador, Kubo, que veio da academia do Barcelona, foi pro Japão, depois voltou e agora, quando teve aquela impunição, né, contra a Barcelona, ele voltou pro Japão. So now, Uzii...
A perda ele explicou que o contrato dele estava expirando e como você pode, pela lei Pelé, a FIFA permite você assinar 6 meses antes de expirar com um novo clube. O Barcelona, ele já deu um toque, o Barcelona boiou aí e não assinou, achou que o contrato ia vencer no período e venceu no anterior. Então, esses 6 meses de renovação ficou vago, então qualquer clube pode ofertar e um clube pegou, então o Barcelona perdeu um jogador, saiu de graça, que acontece muito no Brasil. E eu concordo também com ele que o futebol do Japão é o melhor na Ásia. I agree with you about the Japanese soccer is the best in the East, of course.
Yeah.
So now, Uzii, so all of this, Senegal, France, Paris, PSG playing for us, winning championships at level, at city level, national, regional, and then you go to college. And I have to say that, I'm always proud of you and I always tell you that because you, a few things about you, of your qualities is that you're very respectful, right? You work, you're a good student, smart, and work hard at it, and a good soccer player. So, and then after all of that, so you ended up going to college, but now I remember when you graduated from high school, you posted on your Instagram or Facebook. You remember that?
I don't remember the post.
Okay.
Yeah.
You post something saying like, well, I didn't cut school, I didn't do drugs, I didn't hang out in the corner, now I'm going to college. So I love that. Para traduzir, eu estou perguntando a experiência dele, né, de Paris, de futebol, jogou para mim, ganhou nacional, ganhou regional, ganhou estadual, e eu sempre tive um orgulho muito grande do Uzii, porque ele foi sempre um bom aluno, trabalhou muito forte, é muito inteligente, muito estudioso, e muito respeitador, né? Tem um respeito de todos não só treinadores, mas de todos os pais, os parentes que ele teve a oportunidade de jogar. Mas mas eu me lembro de uma postagem dele no Instagram, no Facebook, ou nos dois, quando ele se formou no high school, né? High school
é como se tivesse formado no ensino médio. O Uzii falou que não lembrava, aí o Wilson contou pra ele.
Ele fez uma postagem falando, pois é, eu não fiz droga, eu não ficava aqui na esquina cortando aula, né? Agora eu tô indo pro college, tô indo pra universidade. Quer dizer, foi bem significativo e bem, assim, tipo Uzii mesmo. So, tell me, how's your college experience with soccer and overall academic experience, what that did to you? Because I know, like you said, it comes from the soccer environment that we created for you, that provided you with that opportunity.
Agora o Wilson, ele vai falar pro Wilson, se perguntou como é que foi essa entrada no college, ingressar na faculdade, O Wilson explicou que é porque ele é inteligente, que ele também jogou, e ele vai contar como é que foi a experiência de jogar na faculdade, fazer parte da faculdade, ali, a vida acadêmica aqui nos Estados Unidos, que muitos brasileiros aqui estudam e vai contar.
Atlética e acadêmica.
Que é as duas.
I mean, thank you for the kind words, but we both know I didn't like school more than I liked soccer, but you know.
But that's fine. You can still like soccer.
Wait, I need to translate. O Wilson falou com isso, Wilson, desculpa jogador, porque ele gosta mais do futebol do que da escola, apesar de ele gostar da escola, mas ele é mais futebol, é igual a gente brasileiro, né? Então ele tá falando isso com o Wilson e agora ele vai explicar. Ele conta de coisa, ele é brincalhão, o Wilson.
But yeah, he knows, you know, I was just a very brilliant kid. You know, I had the mind for school. I knew things that were going on in school to the point where I don't think I've done a lot of homework because like I was like a visual learner. I would sit in class and I would look like I'm just dazing off. But everything the teacher is saying, my brain is just capturing it. So when it comes to like taking an exam or whatever, I always pass. And teachers would, like, even my parents, they would tell me, we never see you study. How you get good grades? Like, it's beyond me. And they would come to school, ask my teachers, like, we have the same question. Mm-hmm. And you know, I recall my first time going to school in America, I think it was 7th grade. I didn't speak English, but whatever I was learning in that science class, I already learned it because I was already ahead when I was in school in France and Senegal. Like, America is behind when it comes to education. And I knew so much already that me being in class, even though I didn't speak the language, I know what's going on. So when the teacher passed out the exam, to not feel bad, because they know I don't have to take it because I don't speak the language. So I'll get a passing grade regardless. They're just waiting for me to start speaking English. So he would still give me the test and say, here, if you want to try it, but I won't count it because I know you don't speak the language. Wow. And I remember taking that test and I got 100 on it. He calls me into the office with other teachers and basically accusing me of cheating on his test, and he hates cheating. And I'm over there like with a computer translating how to tell him I didn't cheat. I just know what you're asking. I might not speak it, but if I read it, I can comprehend. You know, it's not that difficult. And he's like, so take this test in front of us. And I took the same test and I ended up getting a 98, which is 2 points off the original 100. And they looked at him like, he actually knows this stuff, you know. And yeah, and after that, it was just like, okay, I'm an African boy. I don't have a choice but to go to school because I have African parents who value school. And being my mom's firstborn, and she had to drop out of school because of me giving birth to me, it's just like I kind of owe her that, you know, to at least have her firstborn finish college. But I didn't know anything about college. I just wanted to play football. You know, half of the team we had could have gone pro or was on the verge of going pro. But it was also like, but you guys got to go to school first. And I didn't know anything about the college system. You obviously did because you won a championship 12 years in a row in one school, which is boring. You know, it's just too much winning. You know, even Brazil loses sometimes, so you have to lose too. And from that, it was just, okay, I have to go to school. And you used to get so many emails of coaches just saying, I want this kid. I want this kid. Hey, what do you know about Usman? Hey, can we bring him to the school? And you used to give me letters, forward me letters, emails. And it's just like, Wilson, I don't know the school. I don't want to go to the school. And I remember you and Amy made me go to Syracuse for a weekend. I don't know if you remember that.
Yeah.
And, you know, rest in peace to Declan. He paid for that ticket, Amtrak ticket.
Yeah.
And I didn't want to go. But when I went, I fell in love with the campus and everything. And the coach was like, you're free to come here for free. You play for 4 years, you can get drafted, whatever you want. And the more options I saw, the more I got picky. And I was going to go to Clemson. You know, I gave him my word and everything. And at the end, it was just like, okay, do I want to go to school for football or do I want to go to school to learn something? And today we can both agree I made the right decision by not going to such a big institution and ended up at Connecticut College where I've learned everything. Like I'm here building apps, websites, like I'm doing everything techie. And I learned all of that through that school. But because of soccer, I got to make it there.
Yeah. Ok, so vou tentar traduzir, mas essa experiência dele, né, com o futebol foi interessante porque como um africano, né, vindo da África, inclusive ele citou um exemplo que ele não sabia inglês, né, quando ele entrou, recém-chegado aqui, não sabia inglês. Mas ele entendia tudo, né, compreendia tudo, porque ele sempre foi muito inteligente. Então teve uma ocasião em que no teste, sem ele falar inglês, ele tirou 100, nota máxima, e os professores o levaram para uma reunião numa sala e o acusando de colar, né? E ele falou, não, eu somente não preciso falar inglês, mas eu entendo o que está acontecendo. E eles o fizeram fazer um outro teste na frente deles e ele tirou 98. Quer dizer, esse é o tipo de pessoa que ele é inteligente e sempre se deu muito bem na escola, apesar de, como ele falou, gostar muito do futebol e não ser aquele Caxias, né, que fala no Brasil, que de estudar, ele sempre pegava tudo muito bem visualmente na sala e aplicava nos testes. E então essa experiência no colégio foi onde que ele teve a oportunidade, né? Amy Barovic, I'm gonna send you and John Barovic, one of the families that helped you out, a família Barovic, e o Declan, que já não está mais com a gente. Ele fez uma visita no Syracuse, né? A universidade. Mas aí ele viu, né, que o leque dele se abria, as oportunidades, e ele decidiu ir com os conselhos da gente, os pais e treinadores, para a Universidade de Connecticut, onde ele pôde aprender tudo de tecnologia, de hoje, como ele falou, hoje ele está construindo apps, né?
E ele faz 2 pontos aqui importantes de observação. Ele falou um conceito que eu tenho também, I agree with you, American education is behind French, Finland, Iceland, handicap. Ele falou uma coisa que eu concordo, sempre discuti isso no Brasil, quando eu trabalhei dentro da educação. A educação americana é péssima. Ele falou isso aqui, que ela é pior do que a francesa, que muita gente que está no Brasil acha que não é tão boa assim. Eu tenho N casos de pessoas igual a ele que chegam sem falar inglês, só português, e tiram 98, 95 em matemática, os caras chegam na 8ª série e já vai praticamente para a faculdade com a nota. Então é bem limitado para você que está no Brasil. Então, que a opinião, ele estudou aqui, eu só entrei e não concluí, ele concluiu a graduação, então ele está falando, ele é da África, eu sou do Brasil, a gente concorda nisso. E ele também foi para Syracuse, para quem não sabe, Syracuse é uma referência, o Carmelo entra no jogador de basquete de lá. Eu tenho um abraço para o Elmon, que é um professor de biomecânica. Eu tive o prazer de mandar um jogador para Syracuse, que foi para a NBA, o Fábio Melo. I discovered one guy in Brazil, from favela. He played in Syracuse. He lived the Carmelo Anthony's room. E o Fábio Melo, he played in South Boston after it. Wow. I mean, I translate this. Eu falei com ele aqui sobre o Fábio Melo, falecido. E então, aí a Syracuse é uma grande universidade. Ele foi
Syracuse.
lá. Syracuse.
Syracuse parece um pássaro.
E ele tá falando que ele adorou lá, porque lá realmente é um campo gigante indo pro Canadá, mas ele preferiu escolher não uma faculdade de nome, mas uma que tem conteúdo também, né? Porque essas faculdades também, a gente teve problema com o Fábio Melo, Coach K, que é o treinador da seção norte-americana aí do borlando alguns documentos, inclusive está sendo processado, e o Fábio Melo estava nessa lista. Então, quem sabe da notícia, acompanha, tá sabendo o que aconteceu. Because you know the coach from this college, he's from the national team basketball for Olympic Games. He has problem about students because he
forging papers and
he forced papers for guys play there, you know, about basketball players. Então é isso que nós estamos falando aqui. E aí agora o Wilson vai fazer mais uma pergunta para ele, Wilson. Pode fazer mais.
Okay. So tell me a little bit about your work. What are you doing these days? Now you go to college and you graduate. And you are a smart boy. So what are you doing now? Tell me a little bit about your tech, approach and what you're capable to do, and what do you envision going in the future?
I mean, I've always visioned playing. Right after I graduated, I was playing in Germany for like almost a year, and then when I came back here, I was playing UPSL with Westchester United, Queensboro, But I like to work, I feel like my mind is not just limited on playing football, you know. Like, yeah, my body likes it. I love it. It's one sport that's always gonna make me happy. But I coached young kids. I taught in schools, and I like teaching. And I just like to share my knowledge with kids that look like me, you know. And my goal is to have the Black communities have their kids learn computer science at a very young age, because I didn't get that opportunity. I grew up in a public school where they didn't offer computer science classes. So I was lost in college. My first semester was a disaster. I didn't know what was going on in my class. But I taught myself. I knew how to catch up. I was born to catch up anyways, you know. We were born behind already. So I knew how to catch up. I did. And now I can do whatever. If you guys see the Favela Project website, I did that. You know, like, there's a couple of apps on the phones, I did that. You need a cybersecurity guy, I did that. You know, I was at Google for a little bit. I did a lot of things, all through tech and all because of what I know. And today I'm working at a school and just teaching kids what I know best. So that's where it got me.
Essa experiência dele, né, de sempre muito ter, com essa capacidade de captar muita coisa, ele não teve a oportunidade, como ele falou, de ter computação, né? Ciência de computação na escola, né, crescendo, mas e quando ele teve essa oportunidade, o mundo se abriu para ele, e ele hoje, e atualmente ele tem apps, né, por exemplo, se a gente conhece o App Cash, foi ele que criou, e jogos, e o The Favela Project, Wilson Favela Project, website, ele que criou, quer dizer, ele é multifacetário, né?
Ele é criador de conteúdo de internet, mas ele é programador, né? Então já tem uma faculdade mais elevada. E ele falou aqui também, né, Wilson, da comunidade black, né, comunidade negra, que também não tem acesso à informática. Eu luto pela mesma causa que ele também no Brasil, que é uma vida bem diferente, né? Você tem dois mundos, né? O branco vive de um jeito, o negro do outro, e ele também compartilha desse mesmo pensamento. You know, and said, because I fight for the same things in Brazil, like you know, you said about black comedy, because in Brazil you have one sentence like motion, motto, or slogan. You said, you know, when you was born, if kids were black, you need to be 100 times better than another guys. You know? Eu falei pra ele uma frase de lema nosso no Brasil, quem é do gueto da favela sabe, que por você ser preto, filho, você tem que ser 100 vezes melhores. Então, eu expliquei pra ele, of course he agreed. Ele concordou, porque nós estamos nessa causa. Inclusive a Kelly Arantes Nascimento, também, né? Está nas causas aí, ela vai vir
aí. Feminino,
nós vamos estar falando sobre isso. E aí agora nós vamos perguntar a ele.
Eu atualmente, né, só para não cortar, já cortando, o Uzii atualmente trabalha numa escola ensinando realmente essa ciência de computação.
Ele gosta, né, de ensinar.
Para meninos, e futebol, e atletismo, essa coisa toda. So Uzii, now, going towards the end now, tell me, the World Cup coming up, I know you born in Paris and Senegal, your African connection, I know you, so, you know, you like Real Madrid, you follow soccer all over the world, and you're very knowledgeable with what's going on with soccer in the world. World Cup coming up, so what are you thinking? Tell me your US team and who you picking, who looks good. Tell me, World Cup.
O Wilson agora está perguntando, ele com a chegada da Copa do Mundo, que vai começar, se eu não me engano, dia 20 de novembro, e o Wilson está perguntando para ele nasceu na França, viveu no Senegal, hoje está nos Estados Unidos, está perguntando para o que ele acha disso, das seleções, está perguntando qual seleção é a dele, né, a favorita, o que ele pensa sobre a Copa do Mundo. Então agora o Wilson vai responder para vocês. Aí também.
You know, by default, I have to wish Senegal to win it.
Okay.
But if we're not being delusional, we know that's not going to happen. We are cursed. And
so you hope Senegal will go to the next round? You think they will make it?
I think they'll make it far.
Who's in the group?
I think they have Colombia.
O Wilson, ele falou que primeiro ele é senegalês, então ele vai torcer para Senegal, a preferência dele, mas aí o Wilson falou que ele não acredita muito que o Senegal vai passar. O Wilson perguntou, o Senegal vai passar para a próxima fase? Aí o Wilson agora tá perguntando pra ele qual que é o grupo da Senegal.
Se tem esperança, né? De possibilidade de passar, na opinião dele.
Pelo menos passar, né, pra próxima fase. Aí qual que é a opinião dele? I didn't remember about the group. But
Colombia, Senegal.
I think it's not Colombia.
No, I think they.
Check, yeah, because I think. I was watching this yesterday. Because the coach there is Cissé. His nice place.
Senegal?
Yes, from Senegal. He played very good and now he's coaching. Long time there.
Yeah, he played in France.
It's Ecuador, not Colombia.
Okay.
Qatar and Netherlands.
Netherlands, Senegal,
ele falou
Qatar.
Ele falou que Equador, a Holanda tá no grupo deles e a dona da casa, que é Qatar, né? Tá junto com o Senegal. E eu falei aqui com ele que a seleção do Senegal, o treinador é o Cissé, que foi jogador da Copa 2002. E antes do Mané, ele era considerado como um dos melhores jogadores junto com o Diouf. Era o Cissé e o Diouf. O Cissé é a segunda Copa do Mundo que ele já classifica Senegal para a Copa. E ele foi, se eu não me engano, o primeiro negro a comandar a Copa em 2018. Eu vou falar isso agora para o Uzii para saber se ele sabe também. I said in Portuguese because I know your coach from your national team, Cissé, because I believe he is the first black coach go to World Cup. And he put Senegal 2 times in the World Cup, 2018 and 2022, and in Brazil you love Diouf and Cissé, and Camara too. Because they played very beautiful in 2002. You love that because they look Brazilian too. I was
5 years old, so I don't know.
No, come on, it's okay. But what do you think about Cissé?
He's lucky. He's lucky to still be coaching.
You think so?
He doesn't know what he's doing.
Okay. So because, how does he has achieved some success, no?
But it's like you give me Messi and Ronaldo.
You get lucky.
I can make it work.
Okay.
I don't have to know what I'm doing, but just give me those 2 players. Right. And he has that. He has literally every best player in their team is on the national team.
Okay.
If you think about it.
So tell me about the Ecuador, Qatar, Holland, and Senegal. What are you looking at?
The choice is obvious. Senegal and Holland is coming out.
You think so?
Yeah.
Ok. Ele acha que é óbvio, né? Senegal e Holanda passam para a segunda fase.
Ele falou do... Ele falou do treinador.
Do treinador, né? O Cissé, ele falou que tem muita sorte, ele não gosta dele como treinador, mas tem muito talento. E ele é como se o exemplo de fazer um time com o Ronaldo e Messi, não tem jeito, não tem erro, na opinião dele.
O Senegal tá com Mané e muitos jogadores, viu, gente? Pra quem não acompanha muito, né? Bons jogadores.
So, what about the rest of the world of soccer? What are you looking at? Brazil? Or are you looking at US? Tell me about USA. What are your feelings about USA?
Brazil, I'll talk about Brazil first. Okay.
O Wilson agora perguntou pra ele pra falar sobre futebol no mundo, pra falar mais sobre futebol, e deu opção pra ele pra falar futebol nos Estados Unidos, Brasil. Aí você Brasil, né? Ele quer falar sobre o Brasil, ok, you're gonna say now about Brasil, said about Palmeiras. João Paulo, ele tá levando a camisa aqui, hein, João Paulo? Ó. Camisa aí, ó, do Palmeiras. Ó.
Best team in Brazil. I love Brazil, I love Palmeiras. But we gotta be honest. The rest of the world don't want to see you win. You have a Brazil jersey here.
Yeah,
how many stars? How many stars? What? Can they see this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. What about the rest of the world?
Okay.
So we wish you Brazilians another Germany. If that makes sense.
Você já falou isso. Isso traduziu o que falou isso?
Ele acha que o Brasil já ganhou o suficiente, é hora de deixar, né, outros países ganharem. Porque a gente já tem, como ele mencionou, 5, na opinião dele, já está na hora de alguém ganhar e dar oportunidade para outro. Eu não concordo, logicamente, com ele.
Ele é fã da Alemanha, toda hora ele fala da Alemanha, do 7-1, ele gosta.
Yeah, but you have to tell him what I said about Germany.
I said
about Germany.
I said you love Germany because
yeah.
Ele gosta da Alemanha por causa do 7-1, então ele tá sempre lembrando, ele gosta de lembrar. E ele falou do Palmeiras também. Do you know Palmeiras, right?
Yeah,
of course.
Now, which club? Wait, vou perguntar só mais uma pergunta. Which clubs in Brazil now in your memory you know? Say the name.
Santos, Corinthians, Flamengo, Palmeiras, of course, and there's like There's so many, but I don't know how to say the name.
Okay, no, but no one lost.
So Uzii, so what about the national team, Brazilian national team? What do you think with the roster they have right now, the way they're playing right now, and with the stars like your boy at Real Madrid and Rodrigo and Rafinha? So what do you think we are, seriously, not the heart, but with the mind? Make a your opinion. A opinião dele sobre o time brasileiro em si, né? Com todo o talento, seleção brasileira. O que ele acha?
I would say Brazil has the potential to make it to the semifinal, but they will be a tough team to beat. But then again, it's the World Cup, and when it gets to the knockout stage, we're looking at one game and done. 90 minutes or 120 minutes, somebody's going home, and we all learned that soccer is a brutal game, and anything can happen. I might as well. You guys can call me crazy, but you might see Portugal in the final. You might see Argentina in the final. Like, you never know, right? And then you have a team who won the Euros and killed everyone and just failed to make it to the World Cup. And they literally went how many games undefeated?
Yeah.
Italy, right? And then we're not going to see them. So just because you made it to the World Cup doesn't mean you're staying there.
Yeah. Ele acha o Brasil, logicamente, muito com potencial muito grande, né, de chegar facilmente à semifinal. Mas daí para lá, como a gente sabe, né, é uma questão de mata-mata e qualquer coisa pode acontecer, né? Você tem um jogo ruim tá entendendo? E não ganhar uma Copa do Mundo, várias coisas têm que estar encaixadas para um time realmente sair como campeão. Mas o Brasil tem, na opinião dele, muita chance, né, de sair campeão.
É um dos favoritos dele.
Um dos favoritos dele. Now tell me, what about the USA team? You know a little bit more than I do. Tell me about the USA team. What do you know about them? What do you expect? What group are they in?
O Wilson agora está perguntando para ele sobre a seleção dos Estados Unidos, o que ele acha que ele tem que falar um pouco, né, da seleção dos Estados Unidos.
Check it out. USA?
I don't watch the USA play. They don't, like, it's weird to say, but it's like watching the MLS all over again.
Okay.
I'm sorry to the MLS, but this is not football. It's like just playing college soccer. You just have to know how to run, and you have to be big, and that's it, right? And most of those guys, you put them on a real team. I'm telling you, put them on a team we were on where you have to tiki-taka, you have to talk and play with your feet, not just running. We were small. Our entire team was small. Mm-hmm. Sean was the biggest one we had. And look what we did to teams, right? You're looking at Fullerton Rangers. They were all like this, right? These are guys that I want to watch play, right? But when you watch the U.S. play, it's boring. For a guy like you who knows so much about this sport, and then you asking me what group they're in, that tells you everything, right?
Ele falou que, me desculpe, né, ele mora aqui e tudo, mas ele não gosta do futebol americano, não segue a seleção dos Estados Unidos. É muito físico, né, corre, é muita correria e tal, muita raça, mas pouco futebol. Para ele que cresceu com futebol na França e aprecia o futebol no mundo todo, fica difícil assistir. Citou o meu exemplo, por exemplo, que cresci no Brasil e gosto de futebol e estou no meio do futebol. Para mim, perguntar para ele que grupo que os Estados Unidos está, significa que eu, como ele, e eu não tenho vergonha de falar, não sei por que razão, e sinto até um pouco culpado quanto a isso, porque já estou há 42 anos aqui trabalhando com futebol, né, e vivendo do futebol, mas eu não consigo gostar da seleção dos Estados Unidos. Estou sendo sincero, eu não consigo gostar da seleção dos Estados Unidos. Like you said, I can't. I live here, I make a living out of soccer, but I can't help, but I don't like the US soccer team.
I agree with you, and I teach you some things. Eu falei que eu concordo com ele, eu vou ensinar alguma coisa que a gente do Brasil, o Cristóvão, o menino treinador, Lucas Batista do Galo, a galera do futebol, a gente sempre fala. You said in Brazil, they don't play, in America, Americans, they don't play football. They play soccer. And we, coach in Brazil, you never learn about soccer. You don't know what soccer. Just American play this game,
Yeah,
just hear people play, you don't know this. Eu falei que a gíria nossa que a gente fala no Brasil, o pessoal que já veio aqui trabalhar, a gente vem fazer soccer camps. Então a gente tem uma gíria lá que a gente fala que nos Estados Unidos é que eles não jogam futebol. Eles jogam soccer. E a gente que treina futebol lá, que vinha ensinar aqui, a gente nunca aprendeu isso soccer, né? A gente vinha ensinar futebol e eles jogam soccer. Então dá essa difusão. E ele também não consegue entender também essa diferença, the difference about soccer and football, because it's another sport for you too, soccer for me too.
I mean, like, the thing is with us, we don't have the problem saying soccer because it's just a lingo, like, okay, that's what they understand, whatever. But we know how to make the difference. When I go to France or when I'm hanging out we don't say soccer because when I'm speaking a different language, soccer is not a word. So I don't have a problem saying it in English because I know most of the time when I speak in French or any other language, it's football.
English is football too.
Like even in Africa, it's football.
I ask them, my girls from I say football.
Yeah, it's not soccer. Everything is football.
Que ele vai em todo lugar e não tem problema de falar que só que futebol, mas tudo quanto for lugar, inclusive na França, le ballon s'appelle football.
Então, chegando pro final, eu gostaria de mencionar, em honor to Uzii, National Champions. E como eu falo, essa aqui você não compra não, viu? Essa aqui tem que jogar, tem que ganhar o estadual, o regional e o nacional. E nós os fizemos, o PSG, nós fizemos com muito orgulho e muito trabalho e muito bom futebol, Fomos durante 4, 5 anos nós fomos o melhor time dos Estados Unidos. Eu tenho o prazer, tive o prazer de ser o treinador e o criador desse clube, desse time, e com a presença do Uzii. So, in honor to you, I'm wearing the national champs, and like I said, you don't buy that at the store. You have to work for it, right? You gotta, win state, regionals, and nationals, pretty much undefeated, like we did. And for 4 or 5 years, we were the top team in the country, and I have the pleasure to be, the one that made that happen with players like you. So thank you very much.
Wait, Luis, I'm gonna show the pictures from you, played. You just said this picture, in case you remember or don't remember, I got the pictures from your Instagram,
Okay.
I just
so what was that flying in there?
That was
eu falei que eu vou mostrar pra ele algumas fotos que o pessoal vai estar assistindo agora e ele vai explicar as fotos que ele lembra, o que é, o que não é, aonde, como foi. This picture, did you remember?
I think this was in Westchester against New York State FC.
Okay.
The light blue team. We played so many teams.
I don't remember that one. But it's a nice photo.
Yeah.
Ele falou que era...
time de Connecticut. Não lembra muito 100%. Não, eu também não lembro.
O Wilson também não lembra.
But yeah, that was across from Amara.
Okay.
And keeper came under, and I just had to go for it.
And this one. How's your name now?
Uzii?
How's your name?
This was in Orlando.
Okay.
I think it was National League.
Okay.
Yeah, in Orlando. And
I remember that field. That's right.
Yeah.
Tá falando que foi lá em Orlando, na Liga Nacional.
That's the one that Martin went to pee on the corner. I hope you didn't hear that.
This one.
Yeah.
This is in college, right?
Yeah, this is against Kobe. I think I had 2 goals that day, and I was just boots were on fire,
All right.
like the old days.
Dois desse dia, essa na faculdade, na universidade, no college. Oh, sorry, eu peço, gente, passei rápido aí. This one.
So this is our YouTube page with Elisha. He's wearing the Borussia Dortmund, and that's Tunka, the Barca fan. And then that's Yaya, that's the little cousin of Zeke.
Yeah.
Zeke plays for Bayern.
Yeah.
That's his little cousin.
Okay. He's been in touch with me. He called me a couple of times.
Yeah. Yeah.
Ele falou que o Elisha, com a camisa do Borussia,
Tunkara
com a camisa do Barcelona, o
Yaya.
You know this shirt is Bayern, no?
Bayern, yeah.
Camisa do Bayern.
His cousin plays for Bayern.
Ele falou
Ziki.
que o primo dele é o Ziki, que joga no Bayern de Munique, primo desse cara, que é o Yaya. E o Uzii com a camisa favorita dele, Real Madrid.
El mejor equipo del mundo. Yes.
No,
So, yeah.
I don't know him. I never seen this guy before.
Esse como a gente disse, né? O Pogba vinha para Nova York e eles se encontravam, saíam, ele com a camisa do Nacional.
Se vocês estão vendo,
nice.
O Uzii tá com a mesma camisa que o Wilson tá aqui agora no estúdio. You see, I said the people, I told the people you have some shots.
Yeah. You know, before we won this, you know who I was training with before we won this? Zico.
O Zico?
You remember?
Is that they had a camp in New York?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Hey, you sent me. You called me to go.
Okay.
And I was training with Zico.
Zico teve um camping aqui, né, no verão, e eu o mandei lá para treinar com o Zico uma semana.
E aqui é o grande astro nosso aí.
I wish it was Garrincha, but Zico, I take Zico.
Ele preferia, quer dizer, ele admira muito o Garrincha, mas Zico também não é de se jogar fora. Não fica por trás, não.
These are little college fans, you know, always want people to write Uzii on their soccer ball. But
Signing autograph.
Autógrafo na bola pra galera de escola.
This is at Westchester United in the UPSL.
Essa é a liga, tipo, como se fosse a segunda, a terceira divisão aqui dos Estados Unidos, abaixo da Major League Soccer tem mais duas ligas. Ele tava jogando em uma delas, que o time é do Manchester, mas era daqui na região que eles são Queens, olha?
Não, Westchester.
Da cidade que é próxima da gente, acho que é Upstate.
Ei, aí vai baixar a cabeça esse vagabundo aqui. Esse aí ele fez o gol que eu tava falando num passe do Jack Harrison. Ele fez o gol e ele veio vibrar na frente do banco adversário e tomou um cartão vermelho nessa jogada.
Tirar a camisa e vibrar na
e não jogou a final.
He's little bit Brazilian.
Didn't play the final.
Ele não jogou a final por causa disso. É um pouquinho brasileiro, né?
But he looks at me and he was on the bench like, this guy watches too much fucking Mario Balotelli. It's like Mario Balotelli. It's like,
valeu a pena, foi um grande gol, um gol, né, que a gente precisava. It was a big goal. We needed that, so we were able to play without you.
Uzii petit fou. Uzii petit fou. You're gonna say thank for Uzii before it. You are gonna show here, you know, the Kitsuba things. Uzii, did you play with Kitsuba, right?
No.
No, he's older than me, but I know him.
Yeah, this Kitsuba
you're the same family.
Yeah.
Wilson's family.
You played with Wilson, I use Kitsuba clots.
Kitsuba's gonna be the next one. Call him, make sure you call me. Boom.
It's all about Palmeiras.
João Paulo.
We need more.
João Paulo, ele falou need more. Ele falou nós precisamos mais. É eu e ele.
How you say send me more Palmeiras jersey?
O João Paulo, ele tá querendo mais uniforme aí, viu?
Ele vai mandar pro Pogba lá, quem sabe o Pogba assina pro Palmeiras. Except Pogba go to play Palmeiras.
I'll go play at Palmeiras.
You too?
Yeah, every goal will be followed by porra, caralho.
Gente, obrigado. A entrevista foi com o Uzii é nosso amigo. Wilson Egidio, eu da onde, Wilson?
Nova York, Times Square.
Yeah, I tell the guys where you're from, where you came, you know, the place.
Yeah.
Bye guys.
Au revoir. À la prochaine.
Au revoir.